Surrey, British Columbia. It's a foodie mecca. It's a melting pot of flavors and ideas.
Cumin is a seed, coriander is a seed. Call it quintessentially Indian.
And a whole lot of fun.
On today's show, the Surrey Spice Trail. Surrey is one of the most diverse cities in Canada, and it's growing fast. New businesses are opening all across the city, catering to residents new and old. As a Zoomer, I want to get the inside scoop on where to shop and where to eat. So today we're going to be visiting 4 young entrepreneurs who are reshaping the city's food and beverage scene. I'm on Scott Road at the Big Bazaar to meet Raj Tandi, a food writer, to learn all about Indian spices. Oh,
Hey,
I know you're
Carmen.
Raj. I'm a huge fan of yours.
Oh, thank you. Lovely to meet you.
I already know you through your Instagram channel.
I know I do share a lot over there, don't I?
No, it's fabulous. I've learned so much from you. And of course, I wanted to learn about Indian cuisine and your South Asian spices.
Yes, spices are where it's at. You know, spices are king, and they are what bring all the flavors.
How many of these do you have in your kitchen?
So my basic setup, which is my masala dabba, we call it in Punjabi, is 7 spices. So cumin, coriander, turmeric, it's gonna be some red chili, salt, there will be garam masala in there, and then there'll always be whole cumin seeds as well, powdered and whole. So
Yeah.
cumin is a seed, coriander is a seed, and you can roast these up at home, you can grind them with a mortar and pestle or a spice grinder, and just these 2, when they're freshly ground, will give you that quintessentially Indian flavor that you're thinking of when you eat a curry.
I have so much to learn. I'm going home with 1 package, but
Well,
I feel like a hero.
That's a start.
I love it.
Okay, let's go check out.
Shopping done. Let's go eat.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are gonna take some of the whole spices that we bought and we are gonna roast them so they get nice and nutty and the flavors really come out. And then we're gonna grind them. We can use the old school arm workout method, or we can take a little help from my spice grinder. So let's open those
I
up.
see coriander right here.
Yes, so we're gonna start at like a very low temperature. So no more than low medium to start with. And you just wanna go slowly and you're gonna keep stirring them so they don't stick. And then we're just gonna give it a good toss. And we're gonna
but
keep
the
on
scent
tossing it
already.
around.
Oh,
Right? So now that you can smell it, your nose is what tells you it's ready. Do you see how the color has gone a little bit more
Yes.
golden around the edges? Now when you're using a mortar and pestle, you want to make sure it's a good amount full. It makes it harder when it's really empty. So I'm going to put at least that much in there. Let's give that a go.
okay. All right, next steps. What do we do?
Okay, well let's clear up a little and we're
Okay.
going to do some chicken prep. How's
Okay,
that?
done. Here's my spice. I see you've got a counter full of cool things. So what are we going to do here?
Okay, so we are gonna make one of my favorite quick chicken dishes, which is a Dane chicken. They use yogurt. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna use chicken, yogurt, and those spices that you blended. So to start with, I'm gonna get you to add the yogurt.
Yeah, okay, there's that.
Yeah, and then I'll get you to put, let's maybe say a big spoon of your
of my
spice blend, yeah.
My spice blend.
That's
How
what I'm gonna call
fabulous
it.
are you?
And then,
And just blend it in.
you wanna blend that in, yeah. Give that a bit of a mix, and then, okay, so salt, always salt,
Always
obviously. And then we'll give it a little bit of turmeric. That's what gives it that beautiful golden color that people love in Indian food. And then we are going to add darker cumin roasted powder. So cumin has a number of forms, and this is what we call shajira, or is like a very dark roasted cumin. So
It's so fine.
yes. Okay, so here's a hot tip for you, okay?
Okay.
When you're actually cooking the spices so they're gonna stay in your curry, you don't ever wanna put them in tepid or cold oil. It just ruins the texture, they soak up the oil. So we're gonna get this nice and hot because we wanna hear it sizzle when we drop these seeds in. So now we are going to add in the chicken.
The chicken.
I can't believe I'm cooking South Asian food with you in your Instagram kitchen and learning all about spices. How exciting.
Okay, so it's only been a couple minutes.
I love the color.
Isn't it
Wow.
beautiful? So all we're gonna do here now is we're gonna add a few tomatoes, a little bit of water, we're gonna put the lid on and cook it for about 20 minutes.
Wow, that's beautiful. So were you always a great cook?
Absolutely not. But what was beautiful about it was I was able to share the journey with people on social media.
So you're saying that if you could learn,
Yes,
any of us could learn.
100%. If I can cook this, anyone can cook this.
All right, well, I'll be calling you.
You know where to find me.
I want to keep eating.
Please
Thank
do.
you so much, Raj.
Thank you for visiting.
So why don't you walk us through why the pairings work? What do you have there?
I have a golden lager here with the chicken tikka masala.
I'm in Surrey, BC, learning about new businesses that are reshaping the city's food scene. We've met with Instagram maven Raj Tandi and learned how to buy and use spices. But how do you find the perfect drink to pair with those flavors? I sent videographer Dean Atwell to meet up with a new business that is trying to do just that.
Magic Malts, based in Surrey, British Columbia, has been received well by both foodies and beer enthusiasts for their unique approach on this legendary liquid.
Magic Malts is created last October 2022, and we have been brewing since. We have seen that not much of pairing has been done with Indian cuisine, and beer helps to elevate the flavors. So we said, let's focus on the Southeast Asian cuisine and come up with series of beer which are very well paired with them.
In a hyper-competitive craft beer world, Magic Malts is carving out a niche with their unique offerings. The company founders believed that their beers could be category-defining, even category-creating.
So it's very important to pair your food with the right kind of alcohol, like kind of beverage. And beer goes really well with South Asian foods.
Well, flame on.
Yes.
Some fantastic dishes we've got in front of us. We've got a seafood, we've got a chicken dish, poultry dish, and then of course lamb here.
chops.
So why don't you walk us through why the pairings work? What do you have there?
I have a golden lager here with the chicken tikka masala. I pair it with golden lager because the lager, what it does is cleanse your palate. So each and every bite you go ahead with, it gives you a good experience.
And over on this side, I mean, I've got the IPA over here.
So the IPA, I would go with the hot, spicy lamb chops. They are, you need to cut the spice with more alcohol.
Like a stronger alcohol percentage?
Stronger alcohol and more bitter. So that way it cuts through the spice. Right?
What's your hope here as we just devour this food, sample this beer? You're in a few restaurants now in the Fraser Valley. Where do you hope to go with this?
I would go Canada-wide. That's what my dream is, to go Canada-wide, service the Indian hospitality, and customers who love Indian food can have a great Indian beer.
Well, cheers to your good fortune so far and to your success.
Cheers.
Looks like Dean's got his work cut out for him, traveling from one side of the city to the other. From beer inspired by the flavors of India to whiskey in the style of the American South.
Here in South Surrey, a former bartender is now distilling his own alcoholic concoctions, servicing a growing appetite for American-style whiskey in Canada.
We're a place where conversation is key. You know, you have a drink, you meet new people, and you converse about things, right? And that's what I like about this place.
How did you end up distilling.
Right, yeah. So it actually all started when I was 17. I lived in Texas. I met a good friend of mine, and he lived on a grapefruit ranch. And I remember going to a party at his place one day. His brother comes home with this pressure cooker. And I'm like, what is that? He starts setting it up on a propane burner, and there's copper coils and ice buckets. And he's like, in about an hour, we'll be drinking some whiskey. And he starts showing us how to do it. And so at the end of that session, the party stopped. We were surrounding the still, and I asked him, can you show me how to do this? And he's like, yeah, I do it every weekend. Why don't you just come over? This is the pot. We've got corn mash that we strained all the grains. We call it a wort. We put that in the pot, and then we actually start to boil it. The alcohol vapor is actually going to start to rise and separate itself from the rest of the water below. The vapor is going to come into the reflux column, and then it's going to gather. So the vapor is passing through the column and getting stronger every single bubble plate. So it goes up into the deflegmator on the top, goes through the line arm on the top, and then comes back down into this condenser. The alcohol will end up in this parrot and then pour out into this bucket.
So mainland whiskey, how did the name come about?
Being in the mainland, we wanted to be a local distillery that kind of fed all the small communities in the local mainlands. You notice there's a bird on the package as well. So the bird is actually a sparrow, and that symbolizes community and teamwork and friendship. We use repurposed wine barrels a lot of the time. We've created a process how we can strip the wine out and then set it on fire. And it would basically be a rolling ball of fire. It's very, very interesting. So basically what we want to do is we want to char it for about 20 to 30 seconds, and that'll give kind of a heavy char once it actually starts the fire, right? Okay. And that's it. So now you can see that there's going to be a bit of a deep char. We call it the alligator skin. Once the smoke clears, you'll be able to see it.
Oh yeah, it really is charred.
That's right. So basically what we're going to do now, after we're going to fill it with water, it's going to swell. So all of these, because we've taken it apart, there's going to be little leaks in it. But because oak is such an amazing material, wood in general is, it's going to swell after being soaked for a day in water. We're going to remove the water, and then we're going to fill it with whiskey.
Freshly charred wine barrels, who knew? According to recent market data from alcohol award winners, some of the best distilleries are located here in Canada. Ooh, and I would tend to agree.
When we come back, we're going to meet a couple that's bringing a little bit of Mexico into the heart of the city.
If you're gonna make sauces, always fresh. When you get into the stews, that's where you use dry chilies.
We're in Surrey, BC, and so far we've seen how young entrepreneurs are reimagining everything from Indian home cooking to American whiskey. Our last stop is in Wally, where a young couple is making Mexican food a family affair.
Bienvenido, Carmen!
¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? So nice to finally be here. It has the cantina feel. It must be beautiful at night.
The majority of our clientele is very mixed, very diverse.
Do you have a lot of Mexican people come?
Oh, yes. These guys are Mexican, I think, right? Amigos mexicanos, ¿verdad? Hey.
Mexico. So what's the secret ingredient in your dishes? Like, what's the thing?
The secret ingredient is
Chile.
the sauces and the spices are all based from chiles. And there's a variety of chiles, all from dry to fresh. This is the habanero.
Oh my
Beautiful
gosh, I
red-
know about that one.
Yeah, you stay away from that one. That's the only one that's friendly. That's the chile morrón. And then we have dried chiles, which is the pasilla chile. This is guajillo chile. All those go into our birria soups, our pozole as well, right? And then we have the jalapeno, which is what we use for the green salsa. And we have the cascabel.
Hey.
Yeah, it's a secret ingredient of the chorizo.
So what is the difference between, let's say, a fresh and then we see the dried?
Okay, so the fresh ones we typically use for sauces. If you're gonna make sauces, whatever it is that's going to go into a sauce, always fresh. When you get into the stews, that's where you use dried chilies.
And where do you get your peppers from?
We get them straight from Mexico. There's no better place to get them than from Mexico. The recipes come from all my chef friends in Mexico, with the exception of something that you'll see on the menu, which is non-Mexican, which are pupusas, which are made by my wife's mom.
So Mama Ana is actually in the kitchen here. Aquí no se espera para nadie, ¿verdad? Ahora para arriba, y para adelante.
The masa is a powder, right? So she adds the right amount of water. She kneads it to the right consistency. She stuffs it with all fresh ingredients, and it's all made on demand, yeah.
Bomba. ¿Cuántos de estos has hecho? I'm asking her how many did she make it. Woo! That's an answer. That's a very Spanish thing. Woo! Pero no tiene la receta escrita en ningún sitio. La receta no está escrita en ningún sitio.
No, solo yo la tengo.
Oh, no.
You see, it's up here, Carmen.
I asked her.
En mi mente. Medidas y todo aquí.
¿Y quién la enseñó a usted a hacer esto?
Mi mamá.
¿Y quién la enseñó a tu mamá a hacerlo?
Pues mi abuela.
Como la cosa de familia, de una
De familia,
a las
es que
señoras.
Trabajamos familiarmente.
Wow. So look at that. Oh, that's beautiful.
This dish encapsulates Latin culture. Everything that is that you could possibly want to try out at our restaurant is in this dish. Do you hear the sizzle?
As they say, get it while it's hot. I heard that you do something special for birthdays.
Oh, Carmen, can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
Well, the lady over there told me that her husband, it's his birthday. So this is birthday at Guacamole Mexican Grill.
Let's go.
And it's called the Shark Birthday. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Dice, ahí está. No pare, sigue, no pare.
Thank you. I'm like pumped.
Exactly.
I've had my fair share of birthdays, but I think one spent with Marvin and Rosa would be truly unique. Well, that just about does it for the show, but of course we have to spend some time with Chef Julian Bond in the kitchen. He's back showing us some healthy, affordable, and Zoomer-friendly recipes.
You're just going to take one, shove your chicken into your lovely romaine leaves. Really fill it up. Hi, I'm Chef Julian Bond. Come with me while I show you a few shopping hacks to save some money. So this is a tale of two romaines. And which one would you buy? Well, we've got our nice clean root, and we think, oh, this root is ugly, this root is pretty, let's buy the pretty one. Don't do that. You want to try and buy a romaine with as much root on as possible. That way it's going to last a lot longer. What I'm going to do with this today is I'm going to use it as a natural taco, and we're going to fill it with a roasted chicken. Store-bought chickens. This one is $10, the raw ones are $20, so people think these are an inferior chicken. They're not. It's what we call a lost leader to draw you into the store with the smells of roast chicken. Chef tip, buy them, use them in tortilla soup, quesadilla. I like wrapping them in romaine for tacos. That's hot. A rotisserie chicken. And I'm just going to take a little bit for today. A mason jar. Lemons, you could squeeze them with a fork. I've got my trusty glass lemon squeezer. So, I'm going to take my lemon juice that I just squeezed into my mason jar. Olive oil. As we're adding this to the jar, It's always 1/3 acid, 2/3 olive oil. I need to add just a little bit more. And then I'm going to add my cilantro to the dressing. Essentially, that's what we're making, a quick dressing. Tight fitting lid, and we shake. And look at this action shot. Look. It's that fresh green with the lemon and the olive oil. It goes into my salad. And that's just gonna bring that chicken back to life. We're gonna add beans to our chicken. It's just another protein, it's just another texture. And we're gonna add them directly to our chicken. Chicken and beans. And I'm gonna let those beans sit with the chicken and just let them get to know each other for a little bit. Romaine. You know, if it's a little hot summer day and it's getting a little limp, just take the root. Don't cut off the entire root. Shave it a little bit and place it in a little container of water and put that in your fridge. Romaine will last twice as long and actually it'll come back alive and those limp leaves will be fresh and crisp again. We're gonna get to the center leaves. So I'm gonna peel them all off and I'm gonna go for these. You're just going to take one, shove your chicken into your lovely romaine leaves. Really fill it up. And that's it. Lemon, chicken, cilantro, and beans. Simple yet stunning.
Surrey is changing fast, and it's exciting to meet the young entrepreneurs that are making that happen. As a Zoomer, I love new adventures, don't you? If you get a chance, get out there and try something new and exciting, and share with us your new favorites. Remember, as our Carpe president, Moses Neimer, always says, the best way to keep going is to keep going. So Carpe Diem and seize your day.